Yo, what's good, my brother?
Mr. Moonshine himself.
What's good, Bill? What's
Punch
good?
Drunk Boxing. What's happening, my brother? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Blessed. How are you?
Man, thank you for having me on the show, man. Shout out to you and everyone that's in the chat.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you for
man.
having me.
Yeah, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's an honor, my brother. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes, sir.
so we were talking about what Batman said lately. He said
Mhm.
that he don't know what's happening with this fight, and he threw in that Floyd Mayweather. He feels that Floyd Mayweather is might be keeping this fight from happening because throughout the whole year he's been calling him, excuse my language, a bitch, a suck ass bitch. And he thinks that he's been stalling his career. That's what Batman said, like, I don't even think an hour ago. Matter of
Well,
fact, just an hour ago.
well, one thing that I can't say is what the Mayweather family have been to us. You know what I mean? They've been nothing but solid all the way from Roger, to Floyd Senior on down to Junior. In
Yeah.
terms of you can feed a man a fish, but if you give him a pole, he can fish for himself, and that's
True.
just what that family has given us. They've given us a blueprint, to class, and success. You know, of course, in life, everybody is not going to always agree with some of the decisions that you make. As Floyd as a fighter and both his team, as well as the same as with Devin and our team. But um, to hear from the horse's mouth, the Mayweathers, Heyman, PBC, shout out to them, you know what I mean, for allowing us the opportunity to negotiate with a tremendous fighter and Gary Russell, who's the longest reigning champion, and I think that it would be a great event, a big event to bring in the youngest champion. Of course, I listen to you, Mr. Moonshine, all the time, and I hear about Gamboa and about Devin as contemporaries. It's the only thing we doing is answering the bell to hearing what the people want. You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah.
about the people, and it's all about what the people want and who the people want to see you compete against. Devin,
Yeah.
as being a promoter and not just a fighter, it affords him the opportunity to pick the guy that he wants, the guy that we're going to go after.
Yeah.
And right now, we're waiting for a signature from Mr. Russell, and that's the only thing we're waiting on. We've provided everything that we can possibly provide him, and we await and look for him to respond. And if it's something that he's sending over that we need to respond to and address, we'll get it back to him quickly and try to see if we can make this fight happen. Sooner than later.
So all the hands is on deck. You got the zone, yourself, Eddie, everybody's on deck. But it's
Absolutely.
only the term sheet, right?
Well, absolutely. Everyone has agreed that this is what we want to do. All parties have agreed. Now we just need Gary Russell to come on board and to confirm. That way, the zone we can get it scheduled. Hopefully that this year. Because we have a date of November the 7th, and Devin,
Yeah.
for all intent purposes, Devin is ready to go. He hasn't fought in a year. This will be the longest time of inactivity for Devin since he got his pass book as an amateur.
Yeah.
So it's essential and crucial that we get Devin back in the ring and keep him active, just like he's been on the course of his greatness.
That's what's up. And how's the shoulder? Matter of fact, how's
The shoulder is great. The shoulder is great. He got a chance to see a doctor down in LA. Beautiful doctor. Did a great job. He was very patient with us in terms of it being Devin's first surgery procedure. He explained everything. Beautiful man. And Dr. Ella Thrash.
okay?
Yeah, out
All
of
right.
LA. Curlin Joe, man, great guy, man.
So for you, this is there might be people that say this is a great fight. There's people that say this is this is okay fight. Gary Russell Jr. will be coming up 2 weight classes. And that's good for Gary Russell Jr. to try to become a multi division world champion. For Gary Russell Jr., I mean for your son, is that the best opponent available for Devin Haney?
Well,
Or is that the person that y'all want the most?
at this level of play, all these guys are great fighters. Gary Russell is a great fighter. I mean, on any given day, it's not an easy out for anyone, any fighter. I don't care what you say. It wasn't an easy out for Lomachenko. I think it was a majority decision, if I can remember correct. I don't think it was a split. I think it was a majority decision.
Yeah, yeah,
So to say that, and Lomachenko being the superstar that he is, that it won't be an easy out for anyone. But with that saying that Gary Russell is a great fighter, is something special about Devin. Devin is a special fighter, one of those kind of fighters that come around, every 20 years or something. That has not only the physical attributes, the giftness, but he has the mental fortitude to take on a big challenge at 21 years old. You don't see normally that a fighter not only holds out and is being courted by some of the best and the biggest, baddest promoters in the game, to hold out, to have and build his own company and build it to a position at a rate that he's built it, to be in a position to call shots that affect his legacy, and
yeah,
not necessarily be in a position that Mr. Gary Russell has been in. Unfortunate to just be able to throw his name in there, to go after that person that he wanted to go after throughout his years. But he's a tremendous fighter. I think his family has did a great job with him. He has some brothers and stuff. They're good, man. They
yeah.
got a good thing going over there.
And what's special about it, and I have to say this because I did a podcast like 3 weeks ago, and I was talking about fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing, and
Mhm.
having seeing what you have done with Devin Haney. Like we seen this is like a reality show. Devin Haney is like a reality show. We seen him been on YouTube, been since he was like a young kid. We seen his growth. Roy
Mhm.
Jones Jr., Zab Judah,
Mhm.
The Floor Mayweather gym. We seen this kid grow, but we also seen the power of the father at the same time. Just like Gary Russell Sr. We seen
Yes.
that fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing, in which we live in a culture in which they say there's no father
Mhm.
absence. But when you look at boxing, just boxing. Forget about other sports. But boxing is that you see that so prominent. You see Teofimo Lopez Sr., Papachenko, Bill
Mhm.
Haney, Senior, Mayweather Senior. What is it about the culture and the beautiful combination of father and son? How's it?
Oh yeah.
How's your journey? Just you and
Oh
him
yeah.
training.
Believe it or not, most of the time you'll see that it's more father and son duos than you would think not. When you and being in the sport, you'll see a lot of dads that will be in the corner and they might not be actually the face. They might not be a coach, a trainer, a manager, or the promoter, but they're definitely there. And in this sport is very few guys, I believe, that just don't have a father. I mean,
Mm.
and it's some that shout out to Mama's boy, Dennis. We call him Mama's boy. I don't know if you remember him. He has his mom as his coach,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I know you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. And they do a heck of a job. I've worked, side by side with her, and with him, and I look over because I'm always willing to try to catch any pointers or learn, like little tricks into telling the fighter things. See, because everyone is trying to do the same thing, but it's certain little tricks and teaching that makes the job easier for the coach and for the fighter to pick up. So I'm always just trying to catch on to things. So I worked on the side of Dennis and his mom, and man, shout out to them. They're doing a great job in a sport that's a very, very tough sport that's male dominated. So I
Yeah,
want to give a
Keyshawn
shout out to
Davis'
them.
moms is in his career as well.
Oh,
Keyshawn
what?
Davis' moms.
What? I now them shout out to the Davis family as well.
Yeah,
He's a hell of a talent as well. He's up and coming too. I hope that he gets that medal over there in Tokyo. That'll be good for his family if they still have the Olympics. I think in
yeah,
2021. I've been kind of hearing something, but man, I've seen them going into a fight one time, and he just had an aura about himself. He had his mom was there, and
yeah.
he had the group, and I noticed. I noticed something special about him as well. We got a hell of we got a hell of a future in boxing ahead of us, man.
Yeah.
There's some good things on the horizon for sure.
Yeah. Him and Andy Cruz be going at in the amateurs. That's like a
Oh yeah, I
rivalry.
heard
Andy,
about that. Now I heard about this kid Andy Cruz. I haven't been able to meet him, but I sure would like to meet him and see him.
another
Yeah.
great Cuban fighter. Another
Oh
good
yeah.
young.
Are you from Cuba?
Nah. Dominican.
Okay. Are you
Dominican.
Dominican? Yeah. Because
Yeah.
we have a Cuban trainer. We call him Poppy. His name is Jorge, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say defected or what moved or whatever. I guess the word is defected from Cuba when he was really young, and he was in the La Finca program over there in,
Okay.
in Cuba. And so we've heard some wonderful stories of dedication and resiliency of the fighters in Cuba. Of course, we always hear about the negative living conditions, but we don't always highlight the resiliency that those Cuban fighters have. They have that grit and that thing, that it thing that just I always like when I see him. I look for that Cuban hook, and you know what I'm saying, and all those
Yeah.
things. Devin got that stuff with him now. Devin got that.
Yeah.
We made sure he got those gears. He got the Cuban gears too.
Yeah. I mean, he's been around with a lot of Mr. Miyagi's, man, of the
Yeah, yeah,
game. He's
yeah,
been
yeah. We
around a
went
lot
to
of
the
Mr.
Dominican. He got a gold in the gold medal in the Dominican Republic at it was a tournament at the tournament was in fuck what it was
Not La Vega, right? No.
man, it was in this low you drive. Fuck, it was DR.
You got
I
La
can't
Vega,
think
you
of it.
got
I remembered it. I,
Santiago.
rem- I remembered it. I remembered it because it was real impactful because I got a chance to see, and we would drive past all the baseball fields, and I was like, wow, the living conditions around the baseball fields weren't as good. I mean, it's state of art baseball fields,
Oh
but
yeah,
then the conditions, and I was like, wow, the government of Cuba really puts into baseball, into the kids to make them the stars in baseball, and I was
yeah,
always
man.
surprised to see that. Yeah.
One of my boys, the boxing Jedi, he said, he is you are a great example as a dad. You're a wonderful example as a dad. He just,
Oh,
I
thank you,
just,
brother. I try. I just try to be. What my kid needs are. You know what I mean. If he would have been playing football, I would be on the sideline. If he played tennis, then we would have went to Compton and looked for Serena and Venus's dad for wisdom.
that's a sub. That's man, you grind, man. You grind.
Yeah.
Yo, and look, I've been very vocal about this WBC and the way they've been moving, and it
Mhm.
trickles down to fighters, or people may say that I may be talking ish about Loma, I may be talking ish about Devin Haney, but it's all about the WBC and their moves. It's just like a tweet, like their a tweet 2 hours ago. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez for all the marbles. Now, when they say about all the marbles, what do they mean? And
Right.
this is what this is what I've been saying for the longest. Like saying that is actually, in my opinion, shitting on Devin Haney at the same time. But that's
No.
just me. That's the way I interpret it.
Well,
You know.
it just depends on interpretation because you got to understand, and we got to keep it consistent. Okay, if 11-year-old kid, you tell him that the franchise belt is the one that Mayweather held with pride, the
Yeah.
Canelo he challenged, he gave it up, he won. He has 25 franchise belts, and that was the belt that Devin wanted. The WBC belt that Devin holds is the belt that Devin saw as a kid that he wanted, no
Yeah.
matter what. See, so we knew along the line that when we get there, you're going to either fight us or you're going to give the belt up. We knew through history, through time, that that's what it is. And by you being a promoter, by Devin being a promoter, it's no way to play politics on him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's no way to tell him, okay, don't worry about it, kid. You'll get a chance. He dropped the belt, and that's no way to win it. You know what I mean? It's no way to win it, buddy. You just don't want to do it like that, right?
Uh-huh.
If you can't tell him like that. What you can do is what people must understand. And when you complain to the WBC is about wearing that green belt with pride and with honor, with backing up the mandatories, with doing it the way that the Sugar Ray Leonard, the Mike Tyson, the Floyd Mayweather has done it. If you
Yeah.
petition for a franchise status, it's not an elevation because you can't win up to it. You have to petition. So
Yeah.
there's no elevation in it. What you
Yeah.
guys are misunderstanding, a status for a belt. On the night
Mhm.
of there will be no franchise belt to win. There will be a franchise status to win. And in that franchise status, that means that you can, with the WBC, meaning you can become the mandatory like that. You can then petition to fight. So the franchise will trump any other mandatory. If you're in a mandatory position, you then become the mandatory for the WBC title. If that's what rocks your boat. In our case, that's everything to us. That
Yeah.
that definitely rocks our boat.
Yeah.
We're not fooled. We're not bamboozled. We know that the WBC lightweight title is the title to get.
Okay. All
Period.
right.
And the title to have and the title to defend.
Yeah. I understand 100% what you're saying. I'm just going by the interpretation of Mauricio Sudamons and his interviews, and maybe his language barrier. Maybe he's not
Oh yeah,
expressing himself.
he's explained it perfectly clear. He said that Top Rank petitioned him
Yeah. Yeah.
for
No,
it.
that part. Yes.
Top Rank
Yes.
asked for it. Then he came back and he said, okay, so Top Rank came back, and then they said that Teofimo Lopez would be asking for it too.
Yeah.
So when you talk about all the marbles, you're talking about the franchise, the WBA, for all of those marbles, not the WBC World
Yeah.
Lightweight Championship. You
So
see what
it's
I'm saying?
almost like they wouldn't say the word
Of
of
course not.
oh
Of course
yeah,
not.
so
Because
they just put it
of
out
course,
there like a marketing
right,
tactic.
right. But with that franchise status, that means that Canelo at any given time could go get in. What weight class is he the franchise holder of?
Well, he got the title when he was in 160, but with the franchise, you could move up and down, whatever you want to do.
Um,
Right? He got it after 160 after beating Triple G.
mhm.
He got the franchise belt. Then he
Yeah, but
went up.
okay, so there you go, right there is so you can then you're the franchise heavyweight champion. You can just move it wherever you go.
No,
Well, no. What I'm saying is, how do you move it?
yeah. No. I understand that part. Me, I would debate. I would debate that when I was having this discussion, and I was like, I will understand if Lomachenko will be in 140 and move. And then, as Devin Haney was the interim at the time, you get elevated if the boxer just leaves the division or he retires. He gets elevated as an interim and becomes full champion. Just like Canelo Alvarez, he got it in 160, but he moved up and then they elevated Jamal Charlo.
See,
But then
mhm, the
but
thing
then
about that punch, is when you say elevated, that means that elevated for us means we're out of the way. Like we don't have no mandatories. That means that the people won't be able to see that we're trying to get the people in the ring. See, if I got a mandatory, that means that I got to fight. You know what I'm saying?
no,
Now,
I feel you. I
no,
feel you.
no, no. Well, see, what Fortuna was the mandatory, right? He was a mandatory one time. Then he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight when the WBC tournament with him and T.O. and all of us were in the tournament, which is a hell of a thing to do, is to put a young fighter in a tournament with Teofimo Lopez, um, Javier Fortuna, Devin Haney, Zawur Abdulev, only to fight. If you win the tournament, then you fight Luke Campbell for the WBC title. But
Yeah.
while we entered into the tournament, Teofimo said that he was going to go the more smarter route and he was going to go the IBF route, which it was like, I'm not putting in all that work to just go, and I'm going to go the same route and I'm going to do it. I'm going to play politics. And he said it, which is okay. So he went, which is okay.
Smart
That's
business, no
business.
problem.
Yeah, smart business. That's what I was looking for.
To get
Smart
to Loma. To
to
Loma.
get to Loma, So we're on the other end trying to get to Loma. And when Devin and him met up, they had an agreement that they both were ready for Lomachenko. That's one thing that Devin said, is that Devin feels that Teofimo has all the chance in the world to beat Loma. That's coming from that's a Devin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that was pre-pandemic. We hope that Loma. I mean, we hope that Tio stayed strong through the pandemic in terms of being on his course of just being on his course, and he didn't fall back a couple steps. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure Lomachenko went tucked under and is doing some shit right now. He's fucking working out right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He's one of the most prepared fighters in boxing. Probably next to Dev. I mean, I think that they both work out a lot. And kind of show their routines, kind of show the intensity of their routines and stuff. But to answer your question, we don't.
And it's funny because Teofimo Lopez have sparred your son, and Teofimo Lopez has sparred Gary Russell Jr. too. So he could
Oh,
get,
really?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
okay.
he could actually have an input on how that fight could go. I want to see what he has to say about that.
Well, Tio will probably tell you right now with this 135-pound war that's going on. I know it's competitive. We all, they came up in the amateurs. I know his dad, and as time goes on and as things settle down and all these kids go to the levels that and the heights that they will go to, we'll all probably sit down and and have one of those Coronas or Heinekens or you know what I mean, whatever,
Cigar
cigar,
land.
yep.
So
But I
what
mean,
you
it's been a hell of a ride, man. It's been, I mean, and then with this whole fight, man, and then to be here on the show with you and with the whole how it
oh
started out as just an idea, how it started out as an idea,
yeah.
and then to go from it being an idea on the LDBC platform, and then to DAZN picking it up, to to DAZN being interested, to you getting it, to the media. I mean it's just everybody now has gotten on to this fight, man, and it's my black brothers, my brown brothers, my Asian brothers. You know what I mean? It's all it's all races of people coming together right now talking about this fight, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about boxing, bro. Is
Yeah,
it
I think
brings
you're
people
actually
together?
you're making this fight. It's like you're creating this
Yes,
buzz because you're doing the groundwork. I
yes.
respect that. I respect
Yes,
that grind because
and it started with the people. It started with the people. This is groundbreaking, brother. To
no.
start the way that we started from an idea, and then bring it back to the big boys. You know what I mean? Packaged up and ready to go. You
Yeah.
know, for the people, by the people, has been groundbreaking, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. I'm waiting on Mr. Gary Russell to sign.
And you know what I do like about this. What I love about this, matter of fact, is that that groundbreaking move. You will start a trend.
Yes,
It will start a new. It's like you're opening the doors for us,
absolutely,
for independent media, for us to be
absolutely,
taken serious, for our words
absolutely,
and
bro.
to be loud and clear. And
Absolutely.
you're actually you're doing that with this fight. If this fight does take place, I feel like that opens up the floodgates and a new wave for independent media. And old media will have to, I don't know, they got to sit back.
Well, it be hope to be my vision that old media will one day respect new media. New media will earn that have that respect from old media, and then we'll have a working relationship. That way, these great stories of these families that show this hard work and determination will come together. They'll be able to be seen everywhere around the world, because these fighters, they spend their lives trying to get to entertain the people of all races and creeds,
Yeah.
and for a fighter wants the building full. So you know what I'm saying. That's what a fighter don't just want his family there or his race of people. He wants everybody in the building, and that's what I love about this sport is it brings everybody together.
It's a buffet. It's a
Yes,
buffet.
sir. Yes, sir.
So if let's say if this fight doesn't come through fruition. If
Oh,
this
brother, don't talk so negative, brother.
no, I'm
talk
just
so
saying the what if. It's always the what if. And I know you don't want to see it that way. It's plan A or nothing. You know, I understand. It's plan
brother,
A.
I haven't left the house in a week. I'm waiting on Mr. Gary Russell's phone to call. I'm waiting for a tweet. I'm waiting for a fax, an email. I mean, I'm just waiting. I'm on
But
the edge of my seat, just like you guys.
The longer it takes, November 7th, that's 8 weeks out. The longer it takes, y'all might have to push the date.
Well, we're going to go to work at the gym tonight, and we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work, and we hope that, like I said, we got videos dating back where we seen Mr. Gary Russell working out, man. I mean, listen, you know, he work out when he's working out and I'm watching him, I can get tired. You dig what I'm saying? That's just watching him. You know, it makes me say, man, I got to get up off this couch and go put in some work. When I see Mr. Gary Russell sweating and doing the thing, he doing the turn thing, he punching. A new video came out of him. You know what I'm saying? So I say this. I said it's about 7 weeks and 7 days away now. If we can make this thing happen and keep them great people over there at the zone on the hook for this date, and keep the people sitting on their seats in 7 weeks and 6 days, 5 or 6 days, I think you will see the biggest and best fight in boxing in quite some time.
Okay, all right. Mickey Bay, the new trainer.
Yeah,
You've working with the youngest champion, Devin Haney, the youngest trainer, Mickey Bay.
Okay,
how's that transition?
Well, Mickey,
it was breaking up. Hey, you're breaking up. I can't. I think you blacked out.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, you could jump in. Yeah, you could press the link again. I think you timed out. So, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Bay family, both Mickey and Cortez, they've been a wonderful addition many, many, many years ago. We didn't never just start working with the Bays. The Bays, you know, Mickey, you know, has always been instrumental in just talking to Devin, even when Devin was a world champion. Sometimes those talks, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, because, you know, have meant the world to Devin. Because as you've talked to him, he's a wealth of information, things to do and things to not let be done to you.
Exactly.
As well. So that brother gives us a great blueprint, you know what I mean, of behind the scenes blueprint of his life and what happened. So, you know, he's just a wonderful addition, both him and his brother Cortez.
That's what's up. I think he has the knowledge of the Stewart, the Kronk gym, the TMT gym, Senior, Roger, Floyd himself. Right. I think that was a great move. I never saw that move coming, but that was a great move. You know, that was a great move, man.
Absolutely. That's what we do over here, man. We make moves for sure.
So, man, we just waiting on that Gary Russell Jr., man, signature.
Yeah, that's it, brother. That's all we waiting, man. And then like I said, we appreciate all you guys, man. You know, we appreciate all the new media, man, who's been covering this, I mean, so diligently. Like I said, it started out at in the barbershop over there with Fred. You know what I mean? And we just talk. You know, and we talking, and Gary Russell came in. He came into the shop. I came in, and boy, we got to cooking. Then it ended up over there at Fanon. Went there to Trill. You know what I mean? And now we here over here at Punch Drunk Boxing with Moonshine himself.
That's what I'm talking about. I was gonna ask you about Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. If they win, that's gonna be mandatory for Devin Haney.
Oh man, That's a tremendous, tremendous fight. I mean, you see what the Garcias did. They didn't step their game all the way up. You know,
Yep.
y'all was asking for it. Y'all asked, was Ryan ready? Well, he
Yep.
answered the bell. He done stepped up to that veteran, that tall guy, and Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell ain't nothing to play with either, because he's tall, he's long, he's rangy. He's been in there with everybody, you
That's a
know.
good
And
fight. He's gonna come as the underdog. Ryan Garcia is coming as the
hey,
underdog on
listen,
that fight.
I'm gonna tell you what. The Luke Campbell fight, I told you, out of all the 35 pounders, well, I didn't tell you, I told the meet, I said, out of all the 35 pounders in the business, Luke Campbell is the one that I look at and I say, okay, let's go. Hey man, we gonna bring our lunch messing with him, because he's a boxer, he's tall, um, and he has decent power to, but he has skills. He got the skills to to he got skills, man, with that height. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't see no advantages to Devin height, reach wise. You know what I mean? He liked to box. He's awkward, a southpaw, great left hand. Then you got
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia, speed, with all the speed in the world, developing power, messing
Now,
with that great Canelo team over there, man. I'm talking about, that's a hell of a fight, man. And that's the one for the fans. I can't pick it. I just say that, I tell you what, the fans are going to be the winners.
yeah. The fans are the winners on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia has been marinated since amateurs. That's a big fight. Yo, it don't matter.
Man,
There's belts on the line. That's a big fight. That's a
you
big fight.
you talking about having me bite my nails again? I bit my nails off enough when in the amateurs messing with that kid. I don't know how many times they fought. It's so conflicted. Devin say he won the most. Ryan said that he did. But I'll tell you what, every time that they fought, everybody in the amateurs would gather around the ring. You know what I
Yo,
mean? So I don't expect nothing different.
there is a channel, man. I don't know from the I don't got it in memory, but I'll probably forward it to you. There's a channel that has like 5 of their fights.
Oh,
This guy,
oh,
damn, I forgot the name, man. They got like
yeah,
5 of their fights. They got
yeah.
Thurman, Andre. They got Charles Hatley. On they
Oh,
got
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of amateurs. I don't even know where this guy gets all this stuff.
Wow,
I was
wow. I
so
would
yeah.
like to see that. I would like to see that. But I don't want to go back too far back there, because Devin, I
That's it.
mean, he's a
Amen.
bad man. I mean, tell the Garcias, if you're watching, he's a bad man since then. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yo, that's like a Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya type of fight. From the
Oh,
same. You know,
absolutely. It'll be one for the ages for sure. Because the Garcias, like I say, they ain't playing, and we ain't letting up over here either. So it'll definitely be a treat for the fans whenever it happens.
see me understanding the business of boxing, I will be like, you know what, that fight has to marinate to get the mass money, because that's already a marinated fight, but that
Yeah.
deserves that. Like, what if Frank Garcia beats Luke Campbell, Devin Haney beats his Gary Russell Jr. or his next opponent? We don't know.
Gary Russell Jr. He
Gary
beats
Russell
Gary
Jr.
Russell
All
Jr.
right, let's keep it to Gary
Let's
Russell.
stay
He beats,
optimistic. Yeah.
all right, he beats Gary Russell Jr. I would think they'll have to wait just one more fight, in my opinion, until things get situated with the pandemic, because it has to be on
Well,
some
I'll tell you
soldier.
one thing. One thing about him, he's put himself in a hell of a position. The Garcia family has that that they're fighting for that interim title, that also valuable interim title, which means if Devin Haney doesn't want to fight for the belt, then uh, he will become the world champion. If Devin should leave and vacate the belt, then he would automatically become the world champion, because after he beats Luke Campbell, there's nobody else to beat other than Devin Haney.
Yeah, that would be, and you'll
You see what
probably
I'm saying? So as an
no.
interim, so he wouldn't go back again and then say, okay, well, let's fight backwards if Devin didn't want to fight him. So Devin just drops the belt and they say, okay, well, let's make the belt vacant. So then you have somebody fight for the vacant world title and then skip over the interim. So what the interim title holder would say is, Devin Haney didn't want to fight me. I fought everybody. I had the silver belt, the interim belt. Ryan has won all the other belts. Only other belt is the world title. So if he doesn't fight Devin Haney for it, then you should give it to him. If we don't show up to defend our belt, then you would give it to him. But you won't have that happen. Devin
Yeah,
sleeps with that belt. He sleeps with that belt up under his pillow. Ain't nobody, you can't get to that belt. I'm telling you, Garcia family, you got to fight him. If you
he
expecting us to lay down, if you
he kick,
expecting us to lay down.
he kicks the he kicks his girl out the bedroom and sleeps
Oh,
with the sleep
absolutely.
with the.
Listen, absolutely. Listen, if the Garcia family is hoping that we do what the great Lomachenko and they family did, I want to let you know right now, we're not dropping the belt. We are not petitioning to franchise champion. We're not doing none of that. We doing this shit old school. We
Nah,
taking
man,
it as it comes.
and the confidence that you have also people around your son is cool. Like you and Henry Garcia, because Henry Garcia could have still trained him, but he said, you know what?
Right.
Let me give him to Eddie Reynoso. I probably
Absolutely.
took him up to to a level that I could take him, but I want the best for my son. Let me take him to this gym. Canelo is there, and you're the same way. You're taking your son to the best to the best minds of boxing.
Yes,
You
sir.
know,
That's what
so
I
he got a
set out to do.
PhD at the age of 21.
Yes, sir. That's what was the plan. And so far we cooking.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Devin Haney, Gary Russell Jr. That's the fight.
That's it.
Gary Russell Jr. signed the damn paperwork, right? Signed
If
the
you got
damn
his
paper.
number, call him, Mr. Moonshine. You can give him a call if you want to. You know what I mean? On the
Hey,
behalf of us. Give him a call. Let him know we looking for him. Devin
got to, man.
is looking for.
He got to stay in the limelight. Gary Russell Jr. got to stay in the limelight. You know?
Yeah, don't go hiding now, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. Ain't no time to hide now.
I got one question from the comment box.
Okay.
They asked Guido asks, who's the 5 best fighters today for you?
5 best fighters today.
I know you're going with the Young Bucks.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I got too many guys that I respect, and I don't want to leave nobody out. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay, Devin Haney.
Now I could easily been like I do love the future of boxing.
Okay, how about I do this? Let me tell you the 5 fighters that I respect and I like outside of Devin. Let me go with this. Shakur Stevenson. Tank Davis. Canelo. Okay. Wilder.
All right.
Shit. I like shit. Who's my 5th one, man? Darren Cunningham.
Okay.
10-0. DHP.
All right. He's working with Mickey Bay too, right?
Mickey Bay, yep.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. That sounds a little biased right there, though. But
hey,
all right.
Hey, listen. You know, I gotta be my favorite fighters gotta be people that I'm working with and I'm passionate about as well. I mean, you know, that's what makes it your favorite fighter, win, lose, or draw. You know, you don't ride with the Raiders just because they're winning, and then if they're losing, then that's no longer your favorite. You know what I mean? It's always something special about that favorite fighter. If the fighter might have acknowledged you, or the fighter might have said something to Devin, or the fighter might have said something you like, or had something to war. You know what I mean? It's always different things that make up your favorite fighter. You know?
Yeah. That's an opinion in
that's
itself.
Just an opinion. Yeah. But shout out to everybody. I mean, I could go on and on and on, man.
Yeah.
Bud, Earl, you know. Yeah,
you're giving all the information that we need concerning the WBC, concerning Gary Russell Jr. next fight.
Yeah, y'all don't be too hard on him, man. Listen, the kid
who on Devin
the WBC, on the WBC, in the sense of, listen, they have the belt. Everyone knows the rules. I mean, they didn't order him to be the franchise. He had the petition for it, and then everybody got on the WBC for letting him do it. Why wouldn't you let him be a franchise champion if that's what he want to do? Meaning, I don't know what it means, but I'm saying if that's what he wants to do. But
yeah, and he got to take accountability for that too, Lomachenko.
Yeah, that's Lomachenko. That's what he wants to do. That's what Canelo wants to do. Why would we could petition as well, but we don't want to. We're not petitioning. We're not petitioning. We're not looking like, oh my God, we can't wait to get the franchise belt. We want to get the 140-pound the world belt. Okay, so now we should start focusing on getting the franchise belt. If we went up to 140, where is the franchise belt? You got a petition. It's not a belt. It's a status.
But what you say that
it's a status.
that they said they making a belt for the fight.
You said what if I said that they're making a belt?
That's what they said. Teofimo Lopez Sr. stated that they're making a belt for the fight. The franchise is going to become a belt.
Okay,
on
so
fight night.
There we go. On fight night. They're making that for that. They're not making it for the next person to win. They're not making it for Ryan Garcia and them to win. That's not a belt. It'll be a personal belt that's made up like a diamond belt, like Mikey Garcia is the Empress champion, so a belt can be made up, but it's not a belt. It's not a championship belt. It's a franchise title.
So Lomachenko stole his own glory in becoming undisputed.
Huh?
So Lomachenko stole his own glory in becoming a undisputed champion. Because if he never accepted the belt, he would still have the regular belt, and then because he was gonna face the winner of Richard Comey and Teofimo Lopez after his fight. Because think about it,
he was gonna he was supposed to get a tune-up fight. He was supposed to get a tune-up fight when he had the belt, and then when he was the franchise, he had a. If you take a look, can you take a look and see how long it's been since Lomachenko fought? When did he fight last?
Nah, he fought 2 weeks before your son fought for the interim.
Right. So it's been over a year since he's fought, right? Or about a year or whatever.
Yeah, about a year. Yeah, he fought in August, late August. Then
late
2
August.
weeks. Then 2 weeks after Devin Haney fought.
Okay, so I say
they elevated him. Well, they gave him the franchise title in October.
Right. Because he petitioned at the
WC convention.
At the convention. But see, ironically, he was petitioning at the convention and we were coming to petition to fight him.
Okay. All right. But didn't Devin Haney
remember I said the interim title, like Ryan Garcia, when he wins, then he petitions to fight us. He challenges us as the interim champion. But the thing about it is we're already the champion. We can't challenge for the interim title. So we can't win the interim title. We can't challenge for that. And we can't challenge for the franchise title.
Yeah.
We can only be challenged.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of miscommunication.
Do you understand that? But you understand that, though. We can only be challenged. So we're the top dog. When you got that, you can be challenged. That means that it's something to win.
Yeah,
you can challenge. You want that. People want it. You can't just have that prize, that green belt, and then say, okay, well now nobody can challenge me for it. Right now, maybe Teofimo is happy with the belt that they're going to make up for it, but we can't challenge him for that. Yeah. We can't put him in a corner for that. But with the green belt we have, he can put us in a corner if he petitions because he beats Lomachenko. Then he petitions to fight us. Or he just keeps the people fooled that he won. He won. Well, you beat Lomachenko, but now, you didn't beat Devin.
In the Teofimo Lopez interview that I had with him, he said if anybody needs clarification, I'll fight Devin Haney next after I beat Lomachenko. That's what he said.
No, it's no clarification because the Mauricio Suleiman already told him that if that's what he wants to do, that because he will petition for the franchise. Now, mind you, if he didn't petition for the franchise, then he couldn't become the mandatory challenger, right? I mean, but no, I take that back. Is because he'd have those belts, so he would be the unified champ, so he could want to fight us. But if he's the franchise champ, he can make the fight. You see what I'm saying? With the franchise, you can make us get in the ring, and then you clearly is undisputed with the franchise. That's why he has to petition to get the franchise.
Yeah, technically,
it's a mandatory. It's a mandatory. It's like a trump card. It's like a mandatory. And what franchise does is it says, okay, I'll drop the belt. I'll drop.
Yeah.
I'll
Give me 1
drop
second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, my son opened the door, so you know I got the light on, so all these mosquitoes are gonna go inside the house.
Okay.
I'm like, hell no.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you understand that that's like a trump card. It's like, okay, you got to fight me. So if he petitions for that, and he knows that the people ain't gonna go for it, because he knows that Devin's machine is big enough that he is not, and the voice is too loud. It's not gonna work. That's
Yeah,
what
and
that's why
I
they say
understand it's
for
becoming
all
like
the
that.
marbles. They make it for all the marbles for for all what's another good slang saying? All the marbles, all the
Now they got all the
all
marbles.
all the
Top rank
marbles.
got the winner takes all.
Yeah. You know what I mean? All those little catchy, that little shit. Winner takes all, but it doesn't say it's not undisputed, because anytime that you have dispute in it, then it doesn't become, it's not it's left up for dispute. So by him having all the belts, then it's like it's undisputed to me. So by bringing the franchise in, I said, okay, well, if you add 5, if you add 4, then add 1, add 5, then the new way of being undisputed is all 5.
Yeah. That would be a big fight, because I think they're gonna have the ring belt or the lineal belt on the line too.
Right. So that's why we sit tight. We sit tight, and we know you got to come to us. We told him that. We said, all right. We said, you're gonna have to come to us though. Ain't no getting around. You drop all them belts and duck out again. You drop all of those belts and not fight Devin Haney to go up to 140, where there's no fight no big fight. The biggest fight in boxing then becomes Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney.
Now I would say, if Teofimo Lopez, if he goes up to 140 and fights and he's going directly to fight a Taylor or Ramirez, then I will understand, because he's still going to fight for a unification bout, going to 140 and becoming 2-division world champion. If he's not going to do that directly, I would like him to fight Devin Haney after.
Well,
if he wins.
That's what I'm saying. If it's about fighting the easier route to get to the belts and the slicker way to get to the belts, well, shit, we just picked one up. It was one over here on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yo, you made me choke on the coconut water.
I love what the Lopez family. I love what the Lopez family is doing in I mean, it's just like I said, Devin is something special, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear no line around the corner saying next. You know what I mean? We put this work in. I knew it would come a time. I think that what Devin did was he accelerated the opportunities for youngsters. It was like yesterday. It just seemed like yesterday these guys was kids. Now it's like they're the guys now. All the young dudes. You know what I mean? They're the guys.
Now, I feel like they're the guys. They are the guys, but even more than the prime fighters today, because
I know it just tripped. It just flipped over all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're the one that's challenging themselves right now. If you think about all the fights right now, think about it. The fans want, for example, Bud Spence, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both same side of the street, things of that nature, but ain't nobody pressing nobody with contracts. Here comes Devin Haney. He says, I'm going to fight you. I'm going to give you 1.5 million, and I'm going to send you the contract.
Absolutely.
Now, if we hear that type of talk with the prime fighters, we don't hear that type of talk. We hear we need to speak to Al Heyman, or we need to speak to Eddie Hearn, or we need to speak to Bob Arrow. But here comes a 21-year-old saying, I want to fight you. Here's the money, and I'm going to send you the contract. That's bold. That's the way a call out should always be. If if it's not like that, then every other call out is clout to me.
That's what I think. Because he talks to Floyd a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give a lot of that mentorship to not only me, but as well as his relationship with Floyd. and a lot of things that he's doing when that Pretty Boy would do in 2020.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's what Pretty Boy would do in 2020. Other than just be a fighter, just be a bad motherfucker, Pretty Boy would have his business intact like he had it intact, from the middle and to the end of his career. So I think Devin, based on, having a dad like me, and then Floyd, that he's now challenged himself to also have his business correct so he can do the things and say the things and be brash and bold and confident like he is.
Well, the biggest fight of the century, the most lucrative fight of the century, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather had to say to Manny Pacquiao, "Yo, leave your promoter out of discussion. Let's meet in the hotel and let's discuss it." And
Right.
that's how they met, and they made the fight. So even that has becoming a
Yes.
trend that to make fights, fighters just go to the other fighter.
Yes.
Bring all the business, and then you could talk to the promoters. Look what we talked about. Look at the numbers. That's what it is. Look at the buzz that's going on. Now I'm gonna present this to Eddie Hearn, and I'm gonna present this to whoever, Al Heyman. But at least the fighters, because that's what it seems like y'all doing. Is Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney, y'all speaking, y'all building this up, y'all talking about the numbers. Now y'all taking it to the table. Now y'all taking it right back to the zone and Eddie Hearn. Look what we have here. Is that what y'all?
Absolutely. We got DAZN salivating on that fight, man. They love it. They sent over on Fanam's channel. They sent over fight is on fire. You know what I mean? So to get them to respect the fact that as a network to reach out to some of the non-traditional channels that they don't reach out to and respect how this fight got made was, it was unbelievable. And it was something that, that I totally take pride in being a part of.
You send a trend, my brother. You sending a trend. But hey, it's Devin Haney promotion. This is what you got to do.
Hey, let's do it, brother. Working together works, man. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got anything else you want to say to the fans? Say to the people.
Appreciate Mr. Moonshine himself. You know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Y'all blessings on top of blessings, man. And we'll rap again. Stay strong until we talk again.
I salute, my brother.
Peace, my brother.